here you have the MPs who engaged and participated in horrific conduct are being held accountable for their actions. Why aren't the U.S. contractors, the civilian corporate personnel, why aren't they being held accountable for their actions?
If you are a U.S. soldier and you hurt an Iraqi civilian and that becomes known, you will be court-martialed. But if you are a U.S. contractor and you kill an Iraqi civilian and that becomes known, you will be sent home. And then you can come back the following week and you can work for a different contractor.
So here we have the two ringleaders of abuse at Abu Ghraib very explicitly saying, in many cases, what was happening was they were being ordered to abuse these detainees by civilian contractors. These guys are in prison for 18 years total between the two of them, and there's no contractors in prison.
My question is in regards to private military contractors. The Uniform Code of Military Justice does not apply to these contractors in Iraq. I asked your Secretary of Defense a couple months ago what law governs their actions. Mr.
I was going to ask him. Go ahead. Help.
Well,
I pick up the phone and say, Mr. Secretary, I got an interesting question. This is what delegation, I don't mean to be dodging the question, although it's kind of convenient in this case, but never. I really will. I'm going to call the Secretary and say, you brought up a very valid question, and what are we doing about it? Because that's how I work. Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Are any of these allegations being investigated?
My recollection is, and I think it's okay to say this, is that the investigations are ongoing.
Sure.
And that time will tell.
Somehow these contractors have leveraged power in Washington, and the government feels like they want to protect these people. They want to protect the security of these contracts, and they want to protect them from prosecution.
Most of the managers and most of the people we dealt with working for Titan were ex-military officers, high-ranking officers.
All major military contractors have a board of directors and a senior management that is composed of senior retired military personnel. And this allows them to be able to go get contracts.
Washington is a phenomenally incestuous place. Retired senior officers, Capitol Hill staffers, and defense industry. You know, the usual suspects come back again and again.
Top recipients of money from Halliburton, Titan, Cockey, and Blackwater are the two chairmen of the committees in Congress and the House of Representatives that oversee military matters and spending.
The major corporations, these cartel and monopoly corporations, they've figured out how to legally buy influence.
I would echo the words of Pope John Paul II. Profit by itself is not a sufficient motivation for business endeavors. You're operating in the realm of greed. You're not operating in the realm of morality. I went to Iraq and came back. What was so heartbreaking was that I found that we weren't always the good guys, and it was very disillusioning for me. Because I'd grown up with this dream of America, what America was. And when I saw that dream at Abu Ghraib and what it had become, I felt heartbroken. I felt like I didn't know what it was to be an American, because I saw what I had thought America was, destroyed and disgraced.